Good evening. We are so very thrilled that you came back. You have questions for us. We have answers.
We have questions ranging from deeper questions to just curiosities.
Start with the easiest ones.
If you were, when did you experience a lifetime on Earth?
We have experienced many, many lifetimes on your Earth. Together, all of us have come back over and over through your recycling plan. That is how we know we no longer need to return. We learned, we moved on, and we have all been in your shoes. Every single one of us.
We enjoy what we call earthly pleasures of food and laughter and sex. And is there an equivalent of that where you are, or is it something even beyond?
When you move beyond your so-called death, there is a place where you experience some of the same pleasures, as you call them. You reach a realm where whatever you think instantaneously appears. You have that very same power now. You just don't realize it all the time. When you move beyond dimensions to the higher state which we would like you to attain, it is such a high state you do not any longer seek temporary pleasures. We are beyond temporary pleasures. It is of a joy and a bliss you cannot currently conceive of, and we guarantee it. It is better than your orgasms.
Why are you contacting us? Why are you wanting humanity to move forward under your, say, guidance? But
it is time. It is the time of separation. The time where there are many of you ready to move beyond en masse. In prior history, that was not the case. We, the power of Ben, are teachers. We have lived your lives. We have gone through your suffering and your pains. It is difficult, if not impossible, to watch you suffer. There is no longer a need. You were very, shall we say, primitive in your response to life, and you have grown up enough to realize higher states of being. It is time. It is time, and because it is time, you are now able to receive us. It is only a matter of you being ready to receive, not us being ready to give.
this idea of oneness that brings peace in the individual and the collective consciousness, how will this mindset of oneness be spread throughout a world that is so based in ego right now?
Oneness is a state of truth, not conception. It is time to peel back all the many layers of ego until we reach our core, which is the truth of who we are. The truth is oneness. We are all shared consciousness. We, once more, do not have to force anything. All is being remembered. As you grow, as you multiply, as in, again, the power of 10, as a concept, you will grow and multiply and vibrate so much higher that the others will see and grow or fall behind and perish. It is not for you to judge. It is simply for you to separate. We understand that the idea of separateness and oneness seems at opposite ends. However, those of you who remember your oneness, remember your truth will come together. And those who remain in separateness will simply have to go at it much longer. In the meantime, their suffering will beget more suffering. The key is not to sink with them. You cannot help someone by sinking into their mud. You must rise, rise, rise. Use the word, your word, rise. Say it until you feel it. It is one of the techniques that we shall give to you, is to use your language, to use your words, as each word carries a particular vibration. Perhaps for you it is rise. No one can argue with the word rise.
One of my questions was going to be, what are examples of ways that we can raise our vibration?
There you go.
Yes, thank you.
That is one. We will share more in coming months when you are ready. Begin with rise. Keep it simple.
Okay. Yesterday you talked about how important the idea of, not important, that the only thing is to not to force, but to receive. Can you tell me more about how to receive?
Yes. It is more about being in the receptive mode. You know the moment before you wish to create something. If you are feeling empowered by the creation, you will be inspired to move forward. If you are not, if you are feeling any other emotion besides inspiration or creation, then it is something that must rest. You must take a moment to rest, to meditate, to clear your mind, to be in flow, and then receiving instructions on how to next be guided. Your world is so concerned with making something happen in every single moment. If you would just take a step back, take 5 minutes of your time. 5. You will know what to do. Inspired, high vibration. Forcing, no good vibration. You know the difference. Even your lower vibe people know the difference. Take 5 minutes before you act.
I was going to ask you about when is the time to take action, but as you speak, I realize that how we typically define action is forcing something. And so what you're saying is to meditate, or to take those 5 minutes, and then that inspiration is then the right place, is then the right time to take action.
Yes.
Wow.
Being in a receptive mode is everything. We wish we could take the word force out of your vocabulary. There is no need. Imagine a world without force. How would that world feel? It is not up to you or anybody to force anybody to do anything. It is not up to your God, to universe, to source energy, whatever you call your creator, to force you to do anything. You are so much powerful than you even realize. However, that power may be misguided. Allowing is the magic. Allowing is what will bring peace to your world.
You mentioned the word God. So many people here, and I'm sure you know this from your time, have such a different idea about who or what God is. Can you tell us what your experience, your insight into this concept?
Perhaps the word God is simply too loaded. It is unfortunate. You may interchange the word God with the word love. Every single person can accept the word love. If we all prayed to love instead of praying to various aspects of God, you would be a better world. We are beyond the world. We do not mean to make fun of you. It is just so absurd how you all break into fights over who created you. It doesn't matter. You are all made of love. You will all return to love, and love will shoot you into the trajectory beyond life and death.
You're right, it is absurd.
When you are feeling low emotion, when you are feeling sad or mad or frustrated, if you would remember to come back to a place of love, if you would remember how you feel around your animals, how you felt as a young child, how you feel in nature, how you feel with a romantic partner who cares deeply about you. All of these things bring you closer to the definition of who you really are. It would be good for you to remember this more often and remind each other. Perhaps use the word love instead of the word God and see how the world changes.
There are, completely shifting gears, there are a lot of people who talk about traveling through time, and we think as humans in such a linear fashion, but we were talking about last night that perhaps time travel is not based in a human life, but rather, since all time is simultaneously happening, do we essentially in recycling, or is that time traveling?
Yes and no. You humans think in linear terms, and you also think in physical terms. When you imagine time travel in your television shows and movies and books, you see machines, you see bodies. Again, we are beyond form. We are non-physical entities beyond life and death. Once you do not have a body, you do not need to move anywhere. You instantaneously are everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. If you choose, and it is a choice, to return to Earth, to move through the adventure you call life. You can go backwards, you can go forward, you can go in two different places at the same time. The soul has no bounds. The soul can be in more than one body at the same time. We understand your difficulty understanding this, but it is the truth. Your soul is unlimited. It is a part of spirit. It is a part of love, or God, or universe, or source creation. It is a part of all that is. You don't need a machine. You don't need to use a body. Once you move beyond the body, you can go anywhere you want, anytime you want. It is really fun.
I'm sure I look forward to it. First I have to ask this, is there something with peanut butter recently and us talking to you?
Peanut butter is a craving that has for protein. Our body is expending great amounts of energy, as you have talked about. She will adjust. It is all a part of the energy moving. Allow her to have her cravings. She is in tune with her body and knowing what it wants. She will adjust. We would like to take this time to reaffirm that she will not only be okay, she will thrive. Her higher vibrational energy will create radiant health. All of you, as you raise your vibrational energy, will first create radiant health, which is one of the first things that many of you seek, and should be the first thing you seek. Without radiant health, what else can you possibly have? When you traject beyond a body, you don't have to worry about health. You can focus on other things. And while you are in a body, your cells must reach a point of vibration where there is no more sickness. We would like to give you that hope as well, that as you vibrate at a higher pace, that is the key to all well-being. That is the key to all health, is a higher vibration. And in each moment, you may lift it up, beginning with the use of the word rise.
Yesterday, you talked about when there is no resistance, there's no effort needed to raise the vibration. And so what you're saying is the natural state, without us getting in the way, basically, is that higher trajectory.
It is like a beach ball in the water. It takes much more energy to hold the beach ball in the water. If you let it go, it will fly in the air. The same is with your energy. When you block it, you are expending a lot of unnecessary energy. If you just let go, you would shoot into the air like a cork in a champagne bottle. And in addition, you may use tools until you learn how to get out of your own way. Tools are not a bad thing. Using the word rise is one of those. You must catch yourself in the process of blocking. Once it is there and you notice it, you observe it, you notice you are blocking, you say to yourself, rise up, rise up, rise up, and watch how your body feels. Each time this will get easier until there is a time you don't need to say rise anymore. You will just know.
Thank you. That's good.
You're welcome.
Has the balance of peace and violence that we see in today's world, has that always been similar, or can we just find out more about what's going on in the world with technology now?
There has always been a yin and a yang, a positive and negative polarity of peace and violence on the planet. They have not been worse, they have not been better. They have remained the same for all these years. People have harmed each other in various ways with different weapons of violence. You are right when you say now you have massive forms of media that show horrible images that stay in your mind and create more violence. Violence begets violence. Negative vibe and fear creates more fear. When people are fearful, they become dangerous. Your goal is to simply rise beyond the violence into higher and higher forms of joy. Peace is a part of joy. So no, it is not different. What's different is you are. What's different is this time. People are tired of the dynamic. There are many who no longer wish to be part of the dramatic, part of the linear, fearful, dramatic times. As more of you awaken to your true powers, to your oneness, to your understanding, to the love that is you, you will move beyond, and you will attract more and more to the power of 10. We are using this name because it is a time of not just moving to the next level, but moving 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. It is time for the universe to expand beyond your limited understanding. You do not need to convince those of your peace. You need only be peace. The others will see it, and they will likely go deeper down. They cannot handle your light. That is not your decision. Your choice is to move into your light, to shine even brighter the truth of who you are, to a place where nothing can harm you anymore. Because guess what? When you no longer have a body, no one can shoot you. No one can cut you. When you don't have a body, nothing can harm you. And when nothing can harm you, you live in a sense of safety and peace beyond your current level of understanding. Without a body, there is no fear.
When our vibration becomes high enough, is that when we die on this planet as we know it, or do we disappear in a cloud of mystical smoke?
You make us smile.
I smile asking that question.
It is not like in your movies. To others, you will appear to die. Your body will appear to pass as you know it. However, you will not truly die. You will leave your body behind. Instead of going to your version of life after death, you will transcend to a higher dimension, to a much broader, expansive version of life. It is there where we reside. When you die currently, It is a sort of way station. It is school. It is healing and vacation. Until you choose to come back, it is like a bus stop. We move beyond that. We go where we are needed. We teach, our collective teaches. Others do other things, which we will talk about in coming months. We do not want you to try to grasp too much all in one evening, but to answer your question. It will look as if your body has perished to all others. And once you move beyond into the ever-transcendent now, you will join others who have left their bodies behind as well, and join you in triumphant joy and peace and happiness.
That makes me smile.
Smiling is of a high vibration. When you move beyond the physical, your smile is energetic. Do you have more questions for us?
I wrote down more questions, but they don't seem to be as important as the idea of raising the vibration and smiling.
Udiciny would like to speak for a few moments, if that is all right with you.
That would be wonderful, thank you.
I am here to speak of ebb and flow. You have brought that up tonight and this evening, and for that I am very grateful. It is the idea, just like the ocean, that there are tides of movement and tides to recede. This is a very receptive time in your universe. It is a time of more feminine qualities. I have taken on more feminine qualities. However, we, all of us, all 10 of us, have been various genders and races throughout time. I project more feminine qualities to project more receptivity. We would like for you all to experiment before the next session with receptivity for just a day or a week or a month, whatever unit of time you wish. Play with the notion of allowing things to be exactly as they are, allowing people to be exactly as they are, allowing each moment to be exactly as it is. Do not try to force anything. When you find that you want to make something happen, stop and take 5 minutes to meditate and clear your mind, and then return to whatever it is you were planning to do. Whenever you feel the urge to do, remember to rest. Your world needs more rest. If you rested more, you would be happier. You're doing too much. That is all I'd like to say at this time. There will be much more in later months. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we understand you may have difficulty pronouncing my name. You may call me E.
Your name is beautiful.
Thank you. I like it.
Udiciny.
Udiciny.
Thank you for talking to us tonight.
Thank you for receiving us. We have great love for you.